No problem.
Welcome to the Vuyo Show. I am coming to you from New York City. And of course, as we do always, we bring you incredible guests right here on the show. And today's episode is going to be very, very interesting because we are talking about the world of business and sports and entertainment. And how do those three worlds come into being intertwined? And this guest here today is going to be sharing that and so much more with us. So I'm asking you to please sit back, relax, and enjoy the next couple of minutes together with myself, your favorite global darling, Vuyo, and the one and only Tommy Makhobela, ladies and gents. Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I am great. So happy to be finally having this conversation with you. It's been
Yeah,
long overdue, Tommy, I'd say.
yeah, no, definitely. There's been long overdue, and I'm really grateful that you reached out and we are here. So let's go down to
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I love people who are doing incredible things. And I think you're one of the people that I've kind of been seeing from South Africa, as I said
Yeah,
in the intro, that are
yeah,
intertwining business, sports, and entertainment, right? And
yeah,
those are three
yeah,
worlds that in and of themselves are beasts, right?
yeah,
I would say
100%.
it's beasts of industries, but you're doing it effortlessly well. But I'd love for you to please introduce yourself to our audiences and not forgetting to share where you are coming from, because that's always an important detail to share with us.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Vuyo. My name is Tommy Makhobela, also known as Tom Bruce. I reside in South Africa, coming to you live now from Pretoria, the capital city of South Africa. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a founder and CEO of Seasoned Agency, which is a creative agency where we do amazing, cool stuff, I believe.
I love that. Doing cool stuff. But before you got into entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah,
You are kind of really engraved in the world of sports in the country. One of the most respected people behind the scenes of the sports world. When and how did you
100%.
tap into that space? I mean, it's such a, as I said, it's a beast of an industry. But to be
Yeah,
able to be in it takes a whole lot. So, what would you say kind of
100%.
led you into that industry, and some of the achievements that you've had before you jumped into the world of entrepreneurship in the sports industry?
Wow, thank you so much for that. I think that's a very great question. So I've been an entrepreneur, been hopping in and out of agency, finding certain marketing agencies. I've been a person that was able to bring two people together. That fueled my partnerships and sponsorships element, where we call it now the commercial space. So with that, I kind of like took it upon myself to say, okay, cool. Though I'm in an agency, I'm able to bring an agent, I'm able to bring a client rather, that an agency can represent. I'm able to bring a brand that someone else, can be a brand ambassador of and things like that. So, circling back to my 10 years of marketing, that is pretty much a huge thing that I was able to do across my or throughout my career. So I started out in 2013, where I also founded my NPO, which is pretty much something that was able to open my world to the world of networking, to the world of exposing yourself to, greater opportunities out there. I was a social entrepreneur then. I was looking after the interest of the youth in sports, and in just keeping them active, just taking them away from the streets. Coming from a township, I grew up in Orange Farm. Kids down there, and even today, they succumb to different things such as drug abuse, crimes, and things like that. So, Change Pioneer, which is an agency I founded then, was able to take them away from the streets, and just pretty much give them something positive to do. And that's pretty much where my journey started. And then in sports, I ventured fully in 2016, where I was doing some amazing things with the Department of Sports. Fast forward, I was able to then 2021 be a head of commercial at Jay-Z's Rock Nation Sports. And yeah, the rest is history.
The rest is history. I love that. And I think you mentioned something so beautiful about being able to utilize sports, right, as an
Yeah,
agent of change, and as
yeah,
something that people, and we've seen so many lives changed, right, through by being
100%.
participants in the sports industry.
Yeah,
If you were to look at the trajectory of kind of your role that you've played in just really nurturing talent and nurturing people within the community that you're from, What would you say
Yeah.
is the importance of development of such spaces, really, in order to help not only the youth, but the community at large in
Yeah.
ensuring that they are, there's a future? What would you say is the importance of that and your role in,
No,
in playing?
I think
Yeah,
that's a very huge role. That's a very important thing because, as we know, a success of any nation is through its youth. All right.
yeah.
And if you take care of your young people, you give them opportunities, you make sure that you expose them to greater things. They are fooled enough to lead the change. They are fooled enough to, do amazing things with all that experience, with all the skill sets, with all the opportunities that you present to them, So it's very, very, very important that in any industry you take along the youth with you. Whether you have them as interns, you have them as learnerships, you just expose them, So what we then started doing back then in the years was doing seminars, just to bringing industry leaders into from different spaces, different industries, to just come and impart knowledge, because some people out there don't have the knowledge that I can be in sports but not play the game, but just be behind the scenes in different industries. So these are conversations and very important knowledge that young people don't have or don't have access to. Thankfully now there's internet, but we also still use it maybe for the wrong reasons because we just like following the celebrities and that's all, and just get to see what they're up to, but you don't use that time also to just research and just expose yourself to different opportunities out there. So it is very, very important that young people are exposed to different things, are given an opportunity, and even in parliament, even in government, young people come with exciting ideas because they are the culture, they are the future. So if you give them that opportunity, then I strongly believe that you are headed for success.
I know, right? And then I think there's something so particularly beautiful, and I coming from South Africa myself, having kind of a knowledge and an
Yeah,
understanding of the relevance and the importance of such spaces. And I'm glad that you are part of the people who are advocating for that.
yeah,
Um, and then those young people then kind of move forward to then being these superstar, sports people. And I'm sure you've worked with some really great sportsmen in the industry.
yeah, I sure did.
If I remember seeing a magazine cover that I believe you had worked with Teko Modise part of, who was one of South
Yeah,
Africa's greatest, soccer stars.
yeah, yeah,
Um, what
yeah,
does that look like? What does working with celebrity, well, now they would be kind of highlighted as celebrities, but sports stars,
100%. Yeah,
um, and then working with them with when it comes to kind of partnering with brands and
yeah,
publications, etc. How do you
yeah,
go about facilitating those types of partnerships and collaborations? Because I can only,
yeah.
I mean, the sports stars just know how to go and play, right? So how do you
100%. 100%.
how do you figure out what works best for us for a star in order for them from a partnership point of view?
I think with that, it comes with the knowledge of also being able to see what maybe the personality of the person is, all right? Because I strongly believe in authentic and genuine partnerships. There's partnerships that we see on the Instagram or on Twitter or anywhere online where you just see this is just for the money, this is just for the bag, They are not authentic at all or anything like that. But with other sports stars that I was able to work with, and even entertainers or celebrities or people of influence, I was able to then understand their hobbies first. I was able to understand their passion points. I was able to understand what makes them tick. What do they love doing? What is it that they want to expose themselves to? Because these athletes, I don't know how they do. They just delve themselves into whatever sports code that they're in.
Yeah,
Anything else, they're trying to block it as much as possible. So for a football player, they only want to know the game. They'll watch other games. They'll play FIFA, or whatever things, just as long as it's football orientated. Then maybe there's a little bit touch of music and things like that. Then you understand that maybe someone is passionate about cooking. They just didn't know it. You know, they love cooking because during cooking is a therapeutic session for them. And then that's where you're able to then maybe bring an ingredient company or a food company into light to say, I mean, you love cooking. How about we pitch, to this tomato sauce company to say you could actually, do a cooking while maybe you're interviewing another football player or another sports star or whatever the case may be, and then have conversation that speak about the sauce. Then the source that you guys have in the sports industry, they on its own, it's a campaign. They on its own, it's an authentic partnership that will also influence, that will also give away as much knowledge as possible. So you spend time doing a need analysis with these people. What are their passion points? What do they love doing? And then you go for the brands that are similar or have similar traits to what the sports stars or entertainers love doing. That's my secret, I think.
I've seen with the brand like Rock Nation. I mean, the partnerships that have come up from the athletes under that
Yeah,
umbrella have really been some sort of very authentic, and you could
yeah,
see the person behind the partnership as well. So I'm
yeah.
glad to hear that there's a formula in which you had kind of imparted in that.
Yeah, yeah,
There's been
100%.
there's been a debate here in the US. I don't know if it's similar in South Africa right now, but there's been a
Yeah.
debate around in the world of sports, that are the
Mhm.
greatest sportsmen or athletes based on a marketing strategy. Like, the more followers you have, then that is kind of regarded, because there was an incident where one of the basketball women's team in the
Yeah,
country wasn't selected for
yeah,
the team, because,
yeah,
and then there was argument around, oh, but she has the most amount of followers and the most amount of
yeah,
support, why wouldn't they
yeah,
pick them for the so how do is sports now kind of becoming a
yeah,
what
yeah.
is your take on that debate? Because
The truth is,
yeah.
I, the truth is, Vuyo, sports players are the main influential people. All right.
Yeah,
And with that, their influence, unfortunately, it's through stats. All right. Their greatness is through stats, it's through numbers, it's through data. You get what I mean? So,
yeah,
unfortunately, also, the following part of how many fans you have, or how many fans pretty much like seeing what you get up to on the socials, it's also a selling point, because what do brands want the most? They want brand awareness, they want brand visibility, more than anything else. They want Vuyo because Vuyo can give us a reach between Africa and America. And that's something that it's great, because that's a goal and objective of a brand. They want to have a further reach in Africa and USA. So they use your show to get into touch with you, and and be able to reach to the people that they've selected as the target market, or it speaks to the demographic. So also the sports players these days, I mean, you look at partnerships such as Nike and Michael Jordan, they wouldn't have happened if Michael Jordan was not a sports player. You look at Tiger
yeah,
Woods and Nike and now his brand, you look at Sia Kolisi with a Lenovo or anything like that, or visit South Africa. It makes sense because he's a person of influence. He's a person that can many South Africans relate to. And then, he's now playing in France. He can be able to influence as many players that he play with, or even his fans in France, to come visit South Africa. So those are authentic partnerships that are out there. Even Trevor Noah, for an example, will visit South Africa. He's a global sensation, he's a global superstar. It made sense why we could pick him as a brand ambassador and say, represent our country, because you are one of the golden gooses that we have. So it's very important about who you are, your impact, your influence, and also the marketing team behind you.
and we see that it's quite evident. And but my hope though is that it doesn't necessarily the game and how the game is played doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily like affect the followers or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
but the game is a game, and I think it's so
That's
beautiful being
true.
able. I recently went to Cricket South Africa invited me to go and watch the Cricket World Cup here in New
In the
York, right?
US. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I had never been to. I must ashamedly say I've never been to a cricket match before. So as I was
It's
sitting there,
okay.
everyone was telling me the rules, and like, we are no one's no. That's not how the game. There's no goalpost
Yeah.
here. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, we made a goal.
Yeah.
No, that's not this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was just so interesting to just be able to see the players. We had a welcome dinner a couple
Yeah.
of days before, see the
Yeah.
players in person and then seeing the players on the field, and just like the difference in that, and
100%.
that it's kind of like two different individuals that you get to then see
100%.
in person, and then
Yeah.
they become different
Yeah.
people on the field.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that's just like I'm now
Did you
getting
enjoy the
into.
game though?
I did. I
Okay.
still didn't know what was happening. I think that was kind of for me. It was like I wish I kind of studied the rules before, because I used to watch. I used to see cricket playing on SABC 3 in South Africa, like on a
Yeah.
random
Yeah.
Saturday, and that it would just be playing in the
100%.
background. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
watching it like actively to know what's going on. But I think it's a very
Got you.
interesting sport,
It is.
as
It
well.
is. It
But
is.
now
And it's
I
one
want
of
to.
the
I want to.
most,
Uh huh.
yeah, sorry. It's one of the most impactful sports in South Africa because there we are, they were able to see different races coming together and represent a common goal. So it has a
Yes.
very huge social responsibility to it, more than just the game.
Yeah. What's your favorite sports, Tommy? Do you have a favorite type of sport that you enjoy?
Putting me on the spot, but because I mean I have clients in different sports codes, you know. So once I pick a
Yeah,
sports code, they
yeah.
were like, "Oh, so you like him better or you like her better?" But truth be told, it's football. The reason why football is
Okay.
because I also grew up as a footballer. I played football. Unfortunately, then
Okay.
got an injury while I was still playing, which ridiculed me out of sports. But then I also dabbled in cricket. I also dabbled in a bit of basketball. So my favorites would definitely be football, followed by basketball, and then rugby, and then cricket. Yeah, and then lastly netball.
Okay. Okay. I think you're saying netball because maybe you have a client in netball. Is that why?
No, to be honest, my
Okay.
sister made me fall in love with netball.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
I
yeah.
see. And it's similar to basketball as well. So when you come to the
There's
US, I will take you to an NBA match.
Please, please, please. You know, my favorite athlete of all times is Kobe Bryant, of all times. You know,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
so sad that I couldn't even go to one of his game alive. And now I also will never get a chance to meet him. But I
Mm,
believe his legacy there at State Center is something that I'll really be happy to be at. You know, maybe I'll feel his
for sure.
presence, you know. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. No, well, that'll definitely happen. Now, I want to touch base onto this, entrepreneurship, and you have
yeah,
a seasoned agency.
yeah.
Exciting. I'm hoping you're excited about
I
this journey.
am, man. I really am. It's a long overdue journey for me. Very
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, and I saw I've been following the journey a bit on socials. If
Yeah.
you were to share with us exactly what is the agency, and what kind of inspired you to start it, really, what would you say that is?
Sure. What inspired me to start the agency was because I believed I'm a seasoned marketer myself.
Nice.
And that's where also the name came from, because in everything that I would do, the name seasoned would always follow me because of, you know, having decade in the game, having great networks, having a great reputation also in the game, which is something which is huge, you know, where
Yeah.
reputation supersedes you. So if you have a great reputation in the game, you will go further and you protect it with everything that you have. So I think, as I said, I've been in and out of business, worked in corporate, worked for other people, consulted, all of those things. And then finally, when I was at SuperSport, which is Africa's biggest broadcaster, I was a digital I was in the digital marketing team there, and I really felt the nudge of being on my own and all the experiences that I've accumulated, all the networks that I've accumulated. Because also, people will still call me and say, "Yo, man, we're a brand, we're looking for a face," or "Man, we're a brand, we're looking for a club to sponsor," or even people saying, "Man, I need your help. You've done amazing work with one, two, and three. You know, we've seen your work. Please just help us too." You know, if I can tell you how many people want me to manage them, it's insane. It's really a beautiful thing
Can
for me because,
imagine.
you know,
Yeah.
I get so humbled about it when I get requests, even from the people that I grew up looking up to, you know. And it's a very humbling experience. So Yeah, I'm very excited about the journey. Creative agency is what we are about. We bring more life to brands. We tell stories. We would love to have your brand have a massive impact by the work that we are able to do with you. It's not just content for social media for us. It's about sustainability. It's about impact. It's about can we change someone's life with the work that we can do together? And if no is an answer to it, unfortunately, we won't do it because that's what makes us different. We believe on doing work that matters, and I mean, it's up to us to build our nation, to build our continent. So if we are doing the work that contributes to that, then count me in. But if not, sorry, count me out. So yeah, we are a fully fledged creative agency. We just opened offices in the richest square mile of Africa, you know and yeah, I have a team of great amazing creatives as well. They are also seasoned in their space. They've done work before that, really get their reputation being spoken about and very commendable. So I'm very, very humbled and very grateful to have them part of the season agency family. And we are looking into expanding. We are looking into touching more lives, but also employing more young people, giving them opportunities, having them to learn the craft of them being better people tomorrow. We are open to, I mean, partnering with companies who would, give us interns and allow us to train them and things like that. And we believe that it's one way of changing lives and adding to a greater South Africa tomorrow.
I take the words impact and storytelling as kind of some of the pillars that you kind of as a company that you have.
Yeah, yeah,
When you are sitting down and kind of contemplate or thinking about that's a better word
yeah,
about the agency and the journey that you're looking to go within it. Who are
yeah.
some of the people, or what did your potential client look like? What are some of the touch points that you felt like this is the direction in which we want to go,
Yeah,
and we kind of require X, Y, and Z type of clients that we'd love to work
yeah.
with? Who are those stakeholders that you had in mind?
We were pretty much happy to do work in sports still. So whatever club there is out there, I got offers recently to represent certain clubs in different sports codes just to find them sponsorships and also fulfill that partnership as well. So those are pretty much things that we're looking into. And then we're looking into who also we can represent in the entertainment space, and doing work that matters also into the creative economy as well.
Yeah.
We're looking to partner up with event organizers as well so that we can also fulfill our concepts that we have on doing events that will impact other people, and it becomes a storytelling and a great experience at once. So those were pretty much our or our target when we're starting season agency, to say we see a gap in the market where young people are not taking space as it should, because maybe they're afraid, because they don't have resources, they don't have the experience, they don't have the networks that are willing to back them up. But with us, fortunately enough and gratefully enough, is that as I said, our reputation supersedes us. And then when we reach out, people are like, yeah, no, we remember your work, we remember you because of your work, or whatever the case may be. And yeah, here we are. Even today, I'm coming from a great meeting with one of the universities in the country, where they pretty much need our help in terms of making noise about the greatness that they get to produce under their sports faculty. So those stories, it's things that we are really, really, really looking forward to tell. We are excited about that. And yeah, sooner enough, you'll know who it is and you'll see it on the socials.
Love that. We'll be on the lookout. We'll be on the lookout. And I'm really hoping that, whoever's watching, also from an international point of view, is able to kind of touch base with seasoned agency in South Africa.
100%.
And would
100%.
you say that's something that you're also are looking forward to or open to? I know, as
100%.
yeah, please share on that as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. Before before I actually opened offices in Sandton, what I then did was take a trip to Asia as well, just to be inspired, just to see how learn different cultures in this creative economy space. I took a trip to Hong Kong, I took a trip to China, just to learn more things about simple things like as customer service, how effective those things are for business when you do them from different spaces. Of course, customer service is the main thing that you need to have on your mind when you're starting a business. However, learning more about it, diving more deeper and seeing it in practice, the culture, the technology that is out there now, that is being invented now, the opportunities that lie from them doing them in their country and then them driving forward with them that we can bring here in the continent, things like that. So we are very, very much open. I'd love to come take a trip to the USA soon enough, because America has been very great at storytelling. They've been very great at not shying away of celebrating their stars. Whether
Yeah.
it's a mathematician, whether it's someone who I don't know, founded something or invented something, they were able to tell the stories, which is something that South Africa we are not taking advantage of, because we have stories for days. The reason why Rock Nation branched in Africa was that we have stories that are not globalized. Everywhere in the world, people would know about a Michael Jordan, a Tiger Woods, a Serena Williams, Albert Einstein, all of those things. But how many from Africa have we told their stories, who have done amazing things, who have contributed to great success of our nation, of our continent, So coming to South Africa with Rock Nation, that was the first thing. And then when they heard Siya Kolisi lifting the Webb Ellis Trophy after winning the World Cup in 2019, when they heard his story, they were very amped enough to globalize his story. And look at him today. We are able to do that great work where Siya Kolisi is now a global icon, is a global sensation. And not only from South Africa, but he inspires people globally to play rugby, to play the sport, and play it for what matters the most. And that's what's important.
Oh, man. Exactly. That's exactly why you are a seasoned marketer. And that's why you at home need to get in touch with seasoned agency to get your stories
Please.
out there into the world. And the goal is to go global. And I love all things global on the show. So as you're
Yeah.
talking about these different countries, I'm like, yes, that's
Yeah.
that's what we're all about here on the show. So if you are looking
And
for an agency in South Africa, then you know exactly where to find it. It is Seasoned Agency. Where do they find you? I know we have one more touch point before I say goodbye, but if
no
one wants to get
problem.
in touch with working with your agency,
Yeah.
how do they go about that process?
Okay, cool. We have a website with differently directive communication. It's seasonedagency.online. That's our website, seasonedagency.online. But they can also get in touch with me anywhere on socials, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Instagram. It's Tom Bruce Makhobela. You'll definitely find me. And yeah, I'm willing to have conversations. I'm willing to meet different people from different industries. I'm excited about this journey that we are taking. We young people just need to take up space and shake whatever fears that we have, and just go for everything that we dream of and go for everything that we like. So please get in touch. Let's work.
Yeah, let's get to work. Now, you are heading to Kenya in October, keynoting.
Yes.
I always love it
Yes.
when someone's a keynote speaker because it means that they know so much about that particular topic that they are keynoting, right? So you are
100%.
keynoting at the
100%.
Africa Football Business Summit taking place in
Yes.
Kenya in October.
Yes.
To tell us a little bit more about that particular event and what we can anticipate from your keynote.
Ah, man. You see, those are also some of these humbling experiences that, God keeps showering me with. As young as I am, I just turned 30 years of age,
Oh,
a week ago.
happy belated
And
birthday.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I just stepped leveled up to the third floor, and it's really coming up with great, amazing things. So Africa Football Summit reached out and said, Tommy, we've seen your work. You've done amazing work. You've been a center of building many, many, many great stories and partnerships in the country of South Africa. And you are young also. That's what makes it very exciting. So would you be able to lead out our speakers for this year at the business summit. And I was like, oh my God, this is things that I used to pray for. So we're going to be talking about the digital space in the sports sector. How does digital play a role in the sports sector, especially in football? Because this is where you can be able to get in touch with your fans. You can be able to attract more partnerships and sponsors. You can be able to even tell more stories using digital assets. So how do we then make sure that the Africa fraternity or the Africa diaspora get to know what kind of digital assets to use, what kind of technology to use, what kind of content they should be creating, rather than just posting fixtures of what's coming next, and things like that. What else can you give fans who love and pay for your tickets to be at your stadium, who buy your jerseys to support and say, yo, I'm supporting this side because of 1, 2, 3. So how do you give them back the sense of belonging, that they are part of you, and the team is with them everywhere they go. So those are part of the things that I'll be sharing at the business summit. I'm happy to say that I'll be even hosting a masterclass, not only being a keynote, but I'll be keynoting and also hosting a masterclass around the digital spheres in partnerships, commercializing, and just increasing the fan experience.
I think that masterclass and that keynote are going to be loaded with information and insight. And, anyone who's in the Kenya region, go make sure that you go and check it out
Sure.
as well. Tommy, what does the future look like? I mean, you said you're a young fella, and
Yeah.
you've got so much that you've accomplished in the past. What does
Yeah.
the future look like? What's in your heart for your future, for your agency?
Yeah.
That you are kind of hoping is part of the trajectory of your life.
I must say that I'm very sad, but I'm using that sadness to fuel me, because I thought I'll be on Forbes 30 under 30 Africa. Unfortunately, I didn't
You
make
still
that
have one
one.
more year, right? No, you still have one more year.
Well, it's 30 under 30, so let's see. Forbes, get in
Yeah.
touch.
Mm-hmm.
But I think definitely we'll be doing amazing work in the African diaspora. I don't only just want to branch us into a South African agency. We are in a worldwide, we are a global agency, because we are able to do amazing things with anyone, be it different races, different cultures, different beliefs. We are able to still get to the bottom line, which is business and telling stories and make impact. So the future is very much exciting. We're gonna be making quite a lot of noise about the work that we are doing, the work that we still yet to do. So yeah, we truly gonna get into different spaces, not only be an agency, but we're gonna venture into how we can get equity on certain sports assets. How do we fuel the possibilities of greatness in through sports, and also entertainment. We're still here to host events and global events at that. We're still going to have thought leadership conversations with people from different worlds of life. We're still here to host maybe matches, football matches, rugby matches of legends, and it tying back to a goal of giving back to that country in a certain way. So yeah, there's still a whole lot that we yet to do.
I love that. I love that. And you've said it. And once you say things and you put it out there, the possibility of them coming into fruition are quite higher.
100%.
So looking forward to seeing those accomplishments and obviously following your journey. I think it's been incredible thus far.
Yeah.
How do you go about balancing? As young people, we are often kind of given you know the whole notion of you're young, enjoy your life, and
Yeah. Yeah.
just be free. So how do you go about
Yeah.
making sure that in that freedom, in that essence of being young, you're still balancing it authentically with the work and building and growing and establishing? How do you go about doing that balance well? Or
I
is there
mean,
one side that's lacking, if you'd say?
I think, man, I'm very fortunate enough to work in these spaces because you live in the moment too. You get what I mean? When you're at the sports event, whether you're watching football, rugby, netball, basketball, doesn't matter. You also get to enjoy, you get to meet different people. You have conversations over a tea or a glass of something cold inside or whatever the case may be. And that's how you also get to live the experiences and be part of this of these youthful events that one needs to be at. And if also it's not sports, it's also corporate events, brand events, that I get to live my life through. I mean, there's concerts that I still go to. There's collections of certain sports items and whatever that I get to do. There's different element traveling in between, so I still get to enjoy my youth self, my younger self, while doing the things that I'm very passionate about, doing the things that I love the most, and still inspiring also the young people out there to say, it's possible, you can do it. And yeah, I crafted this path not only for myself, but for as many people that are yet to follow after me.
So it's basically, it depends on which industry you're in, because some industries you can balance both in one.
Yeah, yeah,
Have fun
definitely.
while you're at it.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Exactly.
Tommy, thank you so much, man, for spending your afternoon with me. Is there anything you'd like to share, say, make sure that you put on the table here with us today on the show?
Yo, man, I think I've said a lot. I think I've said a lot. I'm just grateful for this platform, Vuyo. You're doing amazing work too. We are very proud of
Thank
you.
you.
As African content as a whole, there's stories like yours that it's inspiring to young people. It's inspiring to myself to say, the sky is only the beginning. It's not only a limit. And I wish your show so much great success. I wish your show to grow to become one of the best shows, for a young child, not a young black child, but a young child, depending wherever they are in the world. And yeah, I wish you all the best. And hopefully this is not the end. Let's do work. Let's keep communicating. Let's see what we can cook
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
And yeah, the future is exciting, I must say.
I love that. The future is exciting, ladies and gents. Tommy Makhobela, and that's the name you should definitely be on the lookout for, because his agency is about to season not only your digital space but also the world, as he's about to take over the sports, entertainment, and digital world. Thank you so much for joining me, Tommy. Thank you at home for tuning in. This, of course, is the Vuyo Show, coming to you from New York City. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We are at The Vuyo Show. Visit our website, thevuyoshow.com, and do the things that are meant to be done by tagging us on all of your incredible global lifestyle moments right here on the show using the hashtag The Vuyo Show. From me and the incredible Tommy Makhobela, it is goodbye and have a fantastic day. Cheers for now.
Bye.